What's going on, everybody? I'm a little bit upset. I'm gonna get a little spicy today, so stay tuned. You can follow me on Instagram at DreamRare. You can follow me on Twitter at Legendary Energy. You can check out my website, music, poetry. Reach out to me, news analysis at legendary.vision. Of course, stay tuned and like my page on Facebook for more. I am disturbed, a bit irritated, and completely blown away by a recent story that I saw. An ESPN host blamed Donald Trump's presidency on the rise of white supremacy. I'm going to read the tweets word by word once people get in. This is Jemele Hill from ESPN. She tweets, "Trump is the most ignorant, offensive president of my lifetime. His rise is a direct result of white supremacy, period." This is Jemele Hill, host of ESPN, probably a millionaire. There's kids in Libya and Haiti getting God knows what done to them because of what Obama and Hillary did, but of course she doesn't care. There's billions of people without electricity and clean water, but Jemele Hill, millionaire from ESPN, she doesn't care. She thinks because she lives in a little mainstream media celebrity bubble that this is a direct result of white supremacy. It couldn't be anything else. That's what she says, period. So I'm going to go on. "Trump is the most ignorant, offensive president of my lifetime. His rise is a direct result of white supremacy, period. He has surrounded himself with white supremacists. No, they are not alt-right. And you want me to believe that he isn't a white supremacist?" This is Jemele Hill, mainstream media icon, works for Disney, ABC Corporation. She works for the real white supremacists, the mainstream media that continually mentally enslaves people. This is Jemele Hill. "He's unqualified and unfit to be president. Because I, for my ESPN $1 million throne, I must know politics so well. He is unqualified and unfit to be president. He's not a leader. And if he were not white, he would have never been elected." Wow. Actually, if he was black or a woman, let's just be honest, he probably would have won by 50 million votes, because people like Jemele Hill are so dumb that they vote on people based on their race and their gender. If Barack Obama, I'm just being honest, Barack Obama won 2 terms as an African American man. 2 terms. He won easily. Wasn't even a contest. But now all of a sudden we get chose with 2 presidents. It's either Hillary Clinton, who everybody knows is probably the biggest criminal in the United States of America. It's no secret. Hundreds of millions of people know. So we get in a forced election on the American people, either the biggest criminal that the United States has seen in the past 30 years, Hillary Clinton, or Donald Trump. So we get chose with those 2, and Jemele Hill, genius, icon, says that it's a direct result of white supremacy. If he wasn't white, he would have never been elected. If he was a woman, he would have won by 20 million votes. If he was a black woman, he would have won by 30 million votes, because that's how dumb a lot of people are. They don't care that Barack Obama drone strike 90% civilians. They don't care that his drones literally killed 90% civilians, innocent people, women, children, dead. People don't care because they care more about his skin color. Is that not racism? People still believe that Hillary Clinton's a great person, not because she is a great person. She's a complete criminal. Millions of people know that. But there's also a lot of people like Jemele Hill who don't know that because she's a woman. So they don't look at what she did. They don't look at reality. They don't look at facts. They don't look at logic. They don't look at character, the character of a human being. If you're not racist, you judge somebody by the content of their character. That's what not racist people do. They don't see skin color like, oh, I'm gonna vote for that person. That's how they enslave you. You want to talk about white supremacy and enslavement? Jemele Hill, you support the slave masters, Jemele Hill. You are a pawn. You are a useful idiot. You are a weapon of the real white supremacists who run the entire globe. You're supporting the white supremacists because you're too dumb to judge somebody by the content of their character. Jemele Hill, you love white supremacists. You're a big tool of the white supremacists. Congratulations, Jemele Hill. I hope your family is proud. You are a white supremacist supporter, because instead of judging people by their gender, or instead of judging people by the content of their character, you judge people based on their gender and their race. Oh, he's got to be alt-right. You know, the media, they told you Steve Bannon was a white supremacist for a year. Now Steve Bannon's out of office to be more effective in the media fight, in the information war. Do you know what Steve Bannon really wanted? He wanted economic change, and he wanted to end the wars overseas. Nothing to do with race. Steve Bannon doesn't care. He cares about the economy, and he cares about stopping the wars, not killing a bunch of innocent black people overseas, something that you don't care about. It doesn't matter to you because you're a multi-million-dollar employee of white supremacists, Jemele Hill. You don't know anything. You don't care. You just know what the media says. You want to talk about Hitler? You think Hitler just ran around and told people to be racist? That's how he convinced people to be racist? No. Hitler manipulated weak-minded, stupid people like you via the mainstream media. The same thing that is happening now. They didn't do it through the right wing. They didn't do it through freedom of speech and freedom of guns and some people that might be a little bit shittier than you want them to be. They did it through stupid, weak-minded people like you through the media. They used the mainstream media to do exactly what you're doing, to demonize innocent people. That's what they did. You're the white supremacist, Jemele Hill. You're supporting white supremacy because George Soros funding the Women's March and funding Black Lives Matter and funding Antifa, you support it because you're too dumb to get deep down. You think Donald Trump starts the wars? You think Donald Trump enslaved people? You think Donald Trump economically, financially, systemically hurts black people? You think Donald Trump did that? You're an idiot. You are an idiot. Go deeper, dum-dum. Who's starting the wars? Who owns the money? Who owns the United States? Who makes the decisions? Go deeper, dummy. It's not Donald Trump. Why do you think the media is supporting you for saying such stupid things? Do you think it's because they care about black people? That's hilarious. You think your tweets are getting promotion because the media cares about black people now and they want to help the black community? Hilarious. But no, it's not true at all. They want to keep you dumb. That's why Red Pill Black, very intelligent black woman, she said this tweet and Twitter banned her. They're silencing smart. Cornel West, intelligent African-American professor from Princeton University. Does he get on ESPN? Do you see him on CNN? Do you see him on ABC and NBC? No, because they don't want you to see the smart, educated African-American people. They want to put dummies like Jemele Hill to enslave their own people. Who owns Chicago, one of the most dangerous cities in the world? It's a Democrat. And what does he do? He points the finger because he doesn't want you to know people are dying every day in his city because he mentally enslaves people. He doesn't want you to be successful. He doesn't want you to be unified. They don't want you to be smart. They don't want you to be successful. They want you to tear down Donald Trump specifically because he's not a puppet. If you look at people because of their race and you look at people because of your gender, you're going to keep getting played by the real white supremacists. You want to talk about white supremacy? You're getting played because they know how dumb you are, Jemele Hill. They just have to put a woman there, and then they have the LGBT community and the women's community. They just have to put a black face there. Hey, I'm a black puppet. I'm going to start wars and kill black people and kill white people and kill Jews and kill Asians and start wars and steal all your money and lose trillions of dollars. Lost trillions of dollars. Trillions. Can you process that? The richest person in the world, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, they have tens of billions of dollars. The United States government, it's in the Washington Post. It's not even hidden. They lost trillions of dollars under Barack Obama. Trillions. Do you know what trillions can do for the black community? Jemele Hill? Trillions. But the white supremacists keep playing you because you're so dumb. All they have to do is put a black face and you'll walk off a freaking cliff. All they have to do is put a white face and they can get you to fight them. That's how dumb you are. All it takes, media, color correction, lighting, Headline, 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 headline. They know how dumb you are. They know how easy to manipulate you are. Black Lives Matter, this, that, police shootings, this, that. They socially engineer you off a cliff. And the real white supremacists, Jemele Hill and Colin Kaepernick, they're the ones using you. They're using you. The white supremacists are using you. You are a useful idiot of the real white supremacists, of the real people who think they're above humanity, who think they're above black people, who think they're above Latinos, who think they're above white people, who think they're above everybody. The real people who really run the world are using people like Jemele Hill as a useful pawn. Maybe a rook. You get $1 million, you're on ESPN, you're a rook now, or a bishop. Because that's how easy you are to control. All you care about is faces. If you're a black face, you get 2 terms like Barack Obama. If you're powerful enough, this is the root of it. George Bush, puppet. He's not a free thinker. George Bush, white man. He's a puppet of the banks, a puppet of the insurance industries, a puppet of the health industry, a puppet of the military-industrial complex. George W. Bush, I'm not a Republican. He's a puppet. They used him to start more wars and keep people mentally, and in some cases in other countries, physically enslaved. You want to talk about white supremacy? Let's talk about George Bush. Total puppet. Let's move on. Barack Obama, oh yeah, he had a black face. Perfect. Perfect way to just completely sidetrack the black community. Oh, we got one of us. It's a black guy in office. Oh yeah, white supremacy's over because we have a black president for 8 years. He was a puppet. How do you think he got there? He had no money. He had no power. So he was a puppet. He got there because he accepted money and power from other people. Monsanto, Wall Street, the big banks. That's how Barack Obama got in there. Not because he's a free-thinking African American who wants to help the black community in America. He got there because he's a puppet. That's why 8 years went by and nothing changes. His own home city, Chicago, is more dangerous than it's been in 15 years. How embarrassing is that? If my home city, and I was president for 8 years, is more violent than it's been in 15 years, when factually the United States and the rest of the world is getting safer and safer and safer, your home city gets more dangerous, what does that say about you as a man? What does that say about you as a person? He wasn't a black leader. He was a puppet of the military-industrial complex and the banks. Fast forward to Donald Trump. Why do you think, let's talk real, Jemele Hill. You want to tweet, you want to be on ESPN, you want to be a hero. In your little bubble, there's hundreds of millions of Americans who don't agree with you. Do you know why? Because they're working class Americans. They're not wealthy elites and useful pawns of the bigger elites like you are. And they don't agree with you because they live in reality. They don't live in this dumb bubble that they used to enslave people. Why do you think the media hates President Trump? You think they care about black people? That's hilarious. You think they care about Latinos, the media? You think the media is your friend now? You think that's why you're getting all this promotion? Oh, they care about Latinos. They don't care about shit. That's why you never hear a Latino who's not illegal. It's not because they care about illegals. It's because they brought them there to use them for votes and for a political agenda. Oh, now let's put a microscope. Imagine... Let's talk realistically. Imagine if I went to another country. I'm an American citizen. Say I go illegally. Say I don't follow the rules. I don't follow the visas. I illegally go to the UK. Or I say I illegally go to France, wherever. And then the media picks me up, ignores their own citizens, and says, hey, look at this guy. It's all about this guy right here. He's an illegal citizen. We got to make him legal, and everything's racist. That if you don't agree with it or you have a conversation and you want to talk about it, you're racist. That's asinine. That's asinine. They're not caring about the working class people. They're not caring about the black people and the Latino people who have worked hard and paid taxes for 30 years because they don't care about you. They don't care about black people. They don't care about Latinos. They're using the illegals for a political prop. Imagine if I went to another country illegally and I'm the talk of the town, and there's people who've lived here for 60 years of every race, religion, and gender who never get media coverage. It's not because they care about me. It's because you're so stupid that you'll play along with it. That's how dumb you are. You might as well be a robot. When Google and Facebook and all them plant chips in your head, you have a head start because you've been a robot for 20 plus years. You didn't even need the chip that they're trying to implant, because you've already sold your mind out. You don't even own your mind. Fast forward to Donald Trump. Why do you think the media hates Donald Trump? You think it's because he's a white supremacist? They told you that was Steve Bannon. The real reason was because he's anti-war. So they played you on that. Colin Kaepernick, Jemele Hill, you guys are big anti-war people. You think they hated Steve Bannon because he was a white supremacist? Ha, 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 dummies. Idiots. I'm trying to help you. If I was racist or sexist or xenophobic, I'd just go on my way. But I meet with women. I meet with black people, Latinos, Muslims, and they don't think like you. They know what's happening. They know that the real fascists are trying to take away freedom of speech and use people like Jemele Hill. Muslims know, Christians know, atheists know, white people know, black people know, Latinos know, Asians know. They just don't talk real freaking loud. Because they're not trying to get used by the military-industrial complex like you are, Jemele Hill, because they're decent people. And I'm sure you're a decent person too, just getting exploited for your emotions. Fast forward to Donald Trump. The media doesn't like Donald Trump. I'm telling people this. I've listened to everybody's opinions. I've listened to everybody's perspective. I'm not saying you have to love Donald Trump. I'm not saying you have to vote for him. I'm not saying you have to support him. I'm not saying to not pick out the flaws that he's actually doing. Please do. I could really care less. But what I am telling you is, and what I've known for a while now, the reason that the media hates him is not because he's a white supremacist. If he was a white supremacist who could be controlled by the banks and the military-industrial complex and all of the people who really enslave society, they would make Trump look like a hero. If he was really a white supremacist, he'd be the talk of the town. Ooh, Donald Trump kisses black baby on the face. Oh, Donald Trump's so good. Donald Trump helping the Latino citizens of America. Oh man, Donald Trump creating more jobs. Stock market bigger than it's ever been. Wow, Donald Trump has the economy up. If he was really a white supremacist, the media would love him. The reason, whether you love him or hate him, the reason the media doesn't like him is because he cannot be controlled. And you can argue that he can make things worse. That's a fair argument if you provide rational points and back it up with facts or data or common sense. Or you could say he's going to make things a lot better. A lot of people believe that. There's a lot of facts, data, and evidence that say that he is making things better. Me, not voting for him, agree. Because as the world gets better, the media ramps up their dumbness to control dummies like you, Jemele Hill. And you, Colin Kaepernick, who I know your intentions and your heart's in the good place, but your mind is not. The media doesn't like Donald Trump because he's not a puppet. He cannot be controlled. He's not a part of the Bush family. He's not a career politician who has sold their soul, their body, and their work out to the big banks, to the corporations. Donald Trump already made a lot of money. Donald Trump already has a lot of power. Even Minister Louis Farrakhan will tell you that. He might tell you some other things. He might change his mind and say this and that and that. And that's fine because I listen to all perspective. But even Louis Farrakhan will tell you he's not a puppet. He cannot be controlled because it's the truth. And the truth is the truth no matter who says it. If they're black, if they're white, if they're Muslim, they're Christian, I don't care. I'm not a race pander. I'm not a phony. I'm not someone who takes selfie next to my Latino and black and Asian friends and acts trendy and cool because I'm not racist. That's what the real racists do. Oh, look, I support DACA. Here's a selfie of me and my Latino homie. And then the friend's like, yo, I'm not even illegal. Why are you taking pictures of me? I'm a legal immigrant. I worked hard to get here for 10 years. They're like, oh, well, I'm just trying to be trendy on Instagram. I didn't know. That's what the real racists do. The real racists can't see beyond the illusion. That's what the real racists are doing. I don't even like talking about race because it's ignorant. Once you start talking about it, You start incorporating it into your mind and spirit, and it's not in my mind and spirit. I base my life off energy. I base my life off people and vibes and good people. And I don't need to say I do it to prove it, but it's just a fact. It's just my reality. It's the reality. Donald Trump is not able to be controlled. There's never been a president since probably JFK, and I'm not saying some people, oh, well, Donald Trump, he's not like JFK, he's totally different. All right, well, personally, personality-wise, and maybe policy-wise, he's not 100% JFK, he's his own person, but it's a fact. There hasn't been someone like Donald Trump since JFK, because he can't be controlled by the banks, he can't be controlled by the pharmacy industry, and they hate it. That's why they'll use people like Jemele Hill to keep people enslaved. That's why that's getting promotion. And people like Red Pill Black, a smart, educated, feisty, fiery young black woman, is getting banned. I'm going to read you her tweet, and Twitter banned it. Keep in mind, Twitter lets pornography play. There's no banning on Twitter. There's porn accounts that have uncensored porn of group porn, people having sex, and Twitter lets it fly. So why are they banning tweets? Because they want black people to be dumb. They want you to keep fighting. They want you to fight with yourselves. They want you to fight with people of different races and religions, white people, Asians. They're the slave masters. They don't want you to see Cornel West. They don't want you to see Red Pill Black. They want you to see Jemele Hill. They want to use Colin Kaepernick. They're using you. They're using your energy. They're using your message to push more war, to push more poverty, to push more control, to push more media control. They don't care about you. If they did, I wouldn't make this video, because I've been trying to help the black and Latino community and all people for 10 plus years now. I've wrote papers, I've done research, I've done songs, I've done presentations on the military industrial complex. I've done it on the prison complex. I've done it on how the prison system is messed up. I've exposed that. I've helped black people more than Jemele Hill has, so I'm confident and comfortable to tell you this. So here's what Red Pill Black said. She said, Jemele Hill, you are an embarrassment to educated blacks. If you want to stay on the plantation, please do so quietly. Some of us are escaping. Red Pill Black, many of you have seen her, young black woman. She tweeted that. What I just wrote, Twitter banned it. This is Twitter. They let pornography play on Twitter. And they're banning a tweet saying, hey, we're educated, we can be educated blacks. Isn't something suspicious? I don't care if you're black, white, Muslim, Christian, I don't care. Isn't something suspicious when ignorance gets blasted out? I love rap music. I love all sorts of rap music. There's a time and a place for all aspects of it, but hip-hop music started with good vibes. Hip-hop music started with dance, b-boys, breakbeats, party, fun. That's where hip-hop started. And it got hijacked at a certain point. And the white supremacists, Jemele Hill, they love that hip-hop got hijacked. Not because black people are making money. That's not why they're salivating. And it's because, and to a certain point, there are a lot of people who don't care based on race and religion. It's just people being successful. But the music industry, they love it because now they can use music and culture and entertainment like ESPN to control black people, to control white people, to control Asian people, to control Latino people. Put you in a box, and once you're in that box, they could throw you wherever they want. And that's what they're doing. They're using you like a shield. Just throw it where we want because they put you in that box. They use rap music to put people in a box. They don't want people enlightening. That's why I like people like Kendrick Lamar and Chance the Rapper. Among other people, I like Juicy J and I like Gucci Mane and stuff too. I'm not a hater. I like Chief Keef. I like everybody. I love the culture and I love some headbang ignorant stuff. Sometimes there's a time and a place when you're partying. You don't want to hear conscious rap all the time. I get it. I'm not a hater. I like all sorts of rap music, but what I'm saying is I like Chance the Rapper. I like people like even, J. Cole, Jay-Z, Nas, people that have a message in their rap a smart message, because they take the dumb messages in rap and then they blast it out to all the kids and wonder why all the kids are suicidal. Why are all the kids suicidal and on pills? Because all the rappers that you market to the kids are pill heads and they're suicidal. All my friends are dead. Take another Xan. The kids are like, oh yeah, all my friends are dead. Of course they are, because you listen to music that manifests that into your life. That's what they want for the community. So I made this video against, like I said, I hate talking about race, because all it is people bickering. It's a box to put yourself in. I don't even like mentioning it. My approach is like Morgan Freeman. Stop talking about it. Sometimes the people who talk about it the most are the most racist. If you vote for someone based on their skin color or their gender, Hillary Clinton and Obama, if it wasn't what they were saying or who they were, it was just their skin color, race, you're the racist one, you're the sexist one. This is what fascism does. They use the media to control people to believe that they're doing a good job. Oh, I'm Colin Kaepernick, I'm Jemele Hill, I'm really helping my community. No, you're being controlled by the Nazis. You're being controlled by the slave masters. You're being controlled by the white supremacists. You are. You just can't see deep enough in it because you don't leave your echo chamber. And I say this, I genuinely, I think at the top of the power pyramid, they know exactly what they're doing. But when you get to the lower people like Jemele Hill and, Rachel Maddow and Don Lemon and, Lady Gaga or whatever, I don't think these people know per se. I don't think they're like in on the mix. That's why I know they're not bad people. I just think they get used. Their emotions get used. They know how to use you. It's easy. I mean, social engineering, we have screens everywhere. We're easy to program like computers, which is fine, but it's not fine when you're calling the president a white supremacist. I defend him not because I care about his race. I could care less if he was white, black, Latino. I don't care the color of Donald Trump's skin. What I care about is he's not able to be controlled, and that pisses people off. So they're using people like Jemele Hill to further and further and further and further and further and further control Donald Trump or kick him out of office. And it's not going to be a huge win, Jemele Hill. If Trump gets kicked out of office or if he gets more control, it might satisfy your ego and your racism and your hatred. But it's not going to help black people. It's not going to help white people. It's not going to help Americans. And it's not going to help anybody in Libya, Somalia, Haiti, Yemen, and all of these black countries that you don't give a shit about. I know you don't care about black people, or else you'd pay attention to what's happening in those countries. You don't care, or else you'd have a different approach. You'd know who the white supremacists really were. So, if you're allowed to say this and stay on the network on ESPN, of course you are, because they're a big corporation. They love it. They're never going to fire you. They'll fire a conservative or a libertarian or a free thinker or a progressive because they don't want smart people. They don't want honest people. That doesn't satisfy the propaganda machine that you're a part of. When the history books look at it, if they're not rewritten to just be a complete lie, the history books are going to remember you as a supporter of the white supremacists. They're going to remember me and some conservatives and libertarians and people like Red Pill Black as the real heroes, the real people who are trying to free people from the slavery, who are trying to free people from the mental slavery, people in Libya that are literally physical slaves. Now, I know you don't care about that. Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton did it, so why would you care? They're the only real literal slaves, like literal slave trade in America, in the world. Maybe not the only one, but the most blatant human crisis slavery is in Libya. But Jemele Hill and Colin Kaepernick probably won't talk about it because Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, with their friends at the military-industrial complex, caused that slavery to happen. So because a woman and a black man put slavery into place, it doesn't matter. And that's exactly what they'll do here. They'll use anybody. The next president will be Latino or trans. And honestly, sometimes I wish for this specific segment that I was a black woman or I was a transgendered black woman, because then my message would be even more effective, because the millions of people that I'm trying to get through to, they're so dumb, they'll see, oh, he's a cisgendered white male, he's just mansplaining to me. But then you put a tranny up there, a black tranny, and she's like, oh yeah, freedom and equality, and they're like, oh my god, she's a genius. So these are the people I'm trying to get through. If I was a black, woman or whatever, my message might be more effective. But I don't care. I'm not wishing to be someone else. I'm just being realistic. When it comes to racial relations, the people that are the most racist, they need to hear it from somebody in their own race or their own gender, because that's how racist or sexist they are. That's why Red Pill Black is so effective, because she's a black woman. Now they can't say, oh, it's a white man, it's a woman and a black. So those two communities, the racist people within those communities and the sexist people within those communities who don't think they're racist, they're fighting racism and sexism, but they're the most racist and sexist ones. That's how you get used by the elites. That's how you get used by the white supremacists. And if you're allowed to scream these stupid lies on Twitter, I'm allowed to scream a more honest truth, because I'm trying to help you, Jemele Hill. I'm trying to help the black community. I'm trying to help Latinos in America. I'm trying to help the rest of the world. And it's not going to come from scapegoating the only president in the past 40 years that can't be controlled by the banks. If you care about black people, Jemele Hill, talk about the banks. Talk about the military-industrial complex. Talk about the prison system. Go deeper, Jemele Hill. Go deeper than the first president in 40 years that can't be controlled by any of those industries. Is he going to make some mistakes? Oh, I'm sure. He already has. Is he perfect? No. But is he better? Probably. Probably. He's doing controversial things that people don't want to talk about, which shows how necessary it is. I mean, they put a microscope. That's how easy it is to control. 10 million things happen every single day. If I own the media, I could manipulate people like Jemele Hill, piece of cake. I don't want to. I want people to have fun. I want people to be successful. That's what I try to manipulate people into doing, being the best version of themselves. You'll never see that on the mainstream media, because they don't want you to be the best version. They don't want you to be the best version of yourself. I do. Because if everyone's the best version of yourself, life will be more fun and enjoyable. And while I'll be successful and happy, that's what I want. The media wants war, hate, division. People like Jemele Hill, because they push war, hate, and division, whether they know it consciously or subconsciously. The real revolution is going to come of the mind. A lot of things we do to ourselves. Literally, when you talk about violence, a lot of the violence we do to ourselves in every community. A lot of the negativity and hate, I just made a video on it, didn't get a lot of likes because it wasn't a negative video like this one or me screaming, but it was the truth. I don't even like talking about politics, because politics is everywhere. It's in all of us. If you want to change the world, you have to change yourself. And what the media wants is the complete opposite. They want no sort of self-awareness. They want no sort of spirituality. They don't want you to have a family. They don't want you to be loving. They don't want you to be self-reflecting, because that's how you win in this world. If you self-reflect and stop pointing the finger, you win. I did. I had no money. I came here with $400. I had nothing. But I stopped pointing the finger and I started self-reflecting. That's when my life changed. It wasn't the other way around. I didn't get a lot of things. I had nothing handed to me. I earned it. I worked for it. But they've convinced the black community and the women community and the LGBT community. I love you. I love the black community. I love the women community. I love the LGBT community. I don't even like to break you into these little stupid boxes that they made for you. I would rather not even talk about these things and just have a conversation with you human to human. But they use you and lie to you to keep you down. If they cared about you, they would lift you up and tell you this is the best time to be LGBT. This is the best time to be black in America. This is the best time to be white in America. It's the best time to be Asian or Latino in America. This is the greatest time ever. You have the capability, mentally, physically, and spiritually, to create your dream and make your dreams come true. They don't want you to know that, so they use you like little puppet activists. They put you in the street, they make you mad, not to help you in return, to use you. They don't want you to be successful. They don't want you to be smart. They don't want you to be united. They don't want you to be happy. That's why they continuously make you mad. It's not a revolution. It's not a revelation. It's using you, using your emotions, using your energy to push a bigger agenda of war, hate, negativity, and absolute human control. And that's why I do these live casts. That's why I do these broad streams, because I'm trying to free humanity. I'm trying to free your mind, your body, your soul. A lot of it is self-induced. If we have a revolution of the mind, We can have a revolution everywhere. It's all in mindset. All of these bad things we talk about, all of these corporations that control, if we didn't buy their products, they wouldn't have control on us. We buy their products, we give them power. The banks, this and that. It's all a power structure. And all of them are breaking right now. That's why the media is freaking out. Because they're losing everything. Bitcoin is blowing up, and now the banks are losing power. You have Donald Trump in office who doesn't owe the banks favors, so he could possibly do something with it. He's not owned by the military-industrial complex. He's not owned by big pharmacy. He's tweeting about big pharmacy. He's ending lobbying. He's doing the opposite of what the media is saying. They flip reality to confuse you. These are the greatest times, and humans are getting freer and freer and freer and freer and freer every single day. So naturally, the media, the real white supremacists, the real slave masters, they're causing this fake outrage. They got to make something up. And she said, oh, well, look at Charlottesville. Oh, you mean the event that they put a microscope on and bust people in to make it worse? The one event? There's slavery in other countries. There's, millions of people dying and being born every second. And you think because one person got hit by a car that the whole world stops and everybody has to talk about it for 5 years? No, that's what the slave master tells you to think. That's what the slave master, that's how the slave master controls you. Oh, ignore the millions of people dying and being born every second. Let's put a microscope on this and use it to control people like Jemele Hill to enslave people. You're the slave master now, Jemele Hill. You're enslaving people. Leave us alone. White people, black people, Latino people, Christians, Muslims, Jews. Why are we fighting? Leave us alone, Jemele Hill. Leave us alone, the mainstream media. They're not trying to help. These are the freest times. The power structure that has controlled the entire world is losing every single day. Donald Trump is a huge part of that. You can thank him later. You can thank me later. I don't need it now. Thank him later and thank me later. Because you don't get it now, but you will. You will. I'm not saying he's perfect. Nobody's perfect. But the real white supremacists, the real people who have run the world for the past 60 and 70 years, I'll give you a hint. It wasn't Donald Trump. I'll give you a hint. It wasn't even Barack Obama or George Bush. It wasn't them. You want to talk about the real slave masters, the real white supremacists? It's not them. And the people and the systems that they've been using to control people, the mainstream media, entertainment, music, culture, all of these things, it's not perchance they've been using them to control you. And you fell for it. That's fine. But we're not falling for it. And millions of people aren't. The internet's on the rise. Internet personalities are on the rise. The VMAs are falling. ESPN's numbers are falling. CNN's numbers are falling. Because no one cares about the TV. We know how fake it is. You put a camera, you frame it, you put the lighting, you do the color correction. Oh, he's Steve Bannon, he gets bags under his eyes. Oh, it's Barack Obama, let's put some light behind him. Let's make him look like a god. Oh, it's Hillary Clinton, let's tell people that she's a woman so, she can kill people and it doesn't matter. So then they do the lighting. And then they have the scripts. Everything about TV is fake. It's a fake box. Fake shows, reality shows are fake. Every, ESPN, NBC, ABC, they're all scripted. It's all fake. Their ratings are going down. So the biggest thing that they were using to control people, the media, they're losing. They're losing that. They're losing the White House. They're losing parts of currency due to cryptocurrency. They're losing on every front. It's the greatest time to be a human ever, the most freeing time. We're winning every single day. Black people are winning, white people are winning, Muslims are winning, Christians are winning. I wouldn't even say these titles, but it's the racist people within those groups that make me have to say this. But human beings are winning. Good people are winning. Good energy is winning. It's the greatest time ever to be alive ever. So the media is going to put magnifying glasses or microscopes on every negative event. Twitter does it every day. Facebook does it every day. It's pathetic. I don't know if they think they're helping. I don't know if they know what they're doing. But every single Twitter story is a lie. I mean, it's hard to believe, oh my God, almost everything's a lie. I get it. It's hard to believe, we all go through that part. Oh my God, but once you embrace it, it's not that bad. I get that it's hard to believe, but it's not going to be less true just because you don't believe it. Oh, well, I'll just keep eating these lies and maybe it'll become true someday. No, that's not how it works. It's going to collapse. It is collapsing. So it's a burning fire where they're just screaming and making shit up as they're going down. But you'll see In the meantime, do some deep research on who President Trump really is. Check out what he's really doing on a big level, not on a surface level. You put a microscope on 80,000 illegal immigrants and ignore 300 million people in poverty, other people in countries with no electricity. We don't care about. Stop pretending like you're a good person. The media tells you're a good person. You're not. Until you figure this stuff out. I'm sure you're a great person, have good intentions, but leave this president alone. He's the freest president since JFK. Leave him alone for a little bit. Stop believing the mainstream media. Watch a video on Malcolm X about who the mainstream media is. Listen to Louis Farrakhan. Listen to whoever. I don't care. Whoever you want to listen to besides me, take out some gems, and they'll tell you a lot of the same things. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm going to put my link below if you would like to donate. And once again, it's all love. It's all respect. It's all consideration, for your consideration. I just want people to be happy. I want people to be free. I want everyone to succeed. The media is using people's emotions, the LGBT community, the black community, women, liberals, whatever stupid titles you want to put on people. I don't like titles. They're using your love. They're using your good energy. They're using your emotions for negativity. They're not giving you promo now because Donald Trump's a big bad person. Mike Pence goes in office if Donald Trump's out. Mike Pence is more conservative. Mike Pence is more religious. Mike Pence is more tied to the real white supremacists. Get a grip, people. Because this is our planet that we share. This is not your planet. This is not your country that you're going to ruin for everybody. Because there's hundreds of millions of people who don't want you to ruin it. So just because a major conglomerate corporation gives you a little airtime and supports the dumb things you say, of course they do. They're part of the big picture. You're not a hero. You're no MLK. You're no Malcolm X. And I say that because I want somebody to be an MLK. I want to see a Malcolm X. But the MLKs and the Malcolm X's of our society will never be televised. They don't want you to see the smart black people. They don't want you to see the smart white people. They don't want you to see the smart, honest Latinos. They're going to use people who are angry and mad and outraged for their agenda. That's just what's going on. I don't care what you think. I don't care what policies you agree with. That's fine. But don't go on Twitter blasting off your mouth about saying that Donald Trump won only because of white supremacy. That's a bold-faced, blatant, stupid lie, and the only reason it's getting support and promotion is for all the reasons I just mentioned. That was very clear. Thank you guys so much. Have a good day. Stay tuned for more of my videos. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to put my link below.